Higher Education and Training Deputy Minister Buti Manamela is facing criticism after missing a crucial oversight committee meeting. Manamela was scheduled to appear before the Standing Committee on Public Accounts, but chose instead to attend the launch of an academic program in Johannesburg, leading to the meeting's cancellation. The SCOPA chairperson, Songezo Zibi, says he is disappointed with Manamela's absence, which sparked a broader discussion on accountability, and he now joins us live from Cape Town. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us. And actually, the Minister of Higher Education is in China with the President as part of his delegation, and understand that the Minister decided that Buti Manamela would be the official who is delegated to lead that delegation from the National Skills Fund as well as NSFAS. Then what happened?
Good morning, Alvin, and thanks very much for having me on. So what happened is that as I was pulling into Parliament yesterday morning, I received a notice from the committee secretary to say that the Deputy Minister had pulled out because he's got another engagement in Johannesburg. And that engagement was the Insurance Sector Gibbs International Program that he was speaking at. Now, when we spoke to the department and the minister indicated she would not be available, which we understood, they also shared with us a program of the two deputy ministers. And the Johannesburg engagement was not on that list. So it appears that he took a conscious decision to prioritize that engagement over Parliament.
So does this mean that since the protest from the committee members, that there has been no letter that has come from the Deputy Minister to explain his absence?
No, there's been nothing from the Deputy Minister. I did speak to Deputy Minister Dr. Gondwe yesterday. She reached out to me and she indicated that the department, the letter that we've dispatched to the Minister will be attended to, and that we will be able to have a hearing next week. If we can find a time that works both for the committee and the department, but nothing from Deputy Minister Manamela himself.
Yeah, but you've also now written to the Deputy President as the leader of business, the leader of government business. So what is the Deputy President expected to do here?
So I'll be writing to the Deputy President today, and the Deputy President's role partly is to make sure that the work of Parliament, between Parliament and government, proceeds smoothly. And one of the things that I spoke to his parliamentary counsellor about was making ministers and deputy ministers available for committee hearings, and she had indicated that the Deputy President is willing to help in this instance. And it is in that context that I will be writing to him. But having said that, there are ministers who have indicated that they're quite happy to come to SCOPA. Minister Barbara Chris is coming on Tuesday or Wednesday next week, one of the two. And I look forward to hosting, and I think that's a good thing to happen.
Yeah, but what then should we read into this decision by the Deputy Minister not to attend this crucial hearing? And as the point that was raised, I think by Mazwi from the EFF, is that you look at NSFAS, for instance, and they're dealing with around 90,000 appeals from students that are desperate. And you would have gotten some sort of clarity around what is happening there. So what should we as ordinary citizens who have elected some of these parliamentarians to also represent us, what should we read into this?
No, two things. That Deputy Minister Manamela takes neither Parliament, in fact, doesn't take Parliament seriously, and that does not take the thousands or tens of thousands of students and their parents and their siblings who care about what happens to them, and also the many people that should benefit from learnerships from the National Skills Fund, where lots of money has been misappropriated over the last couple of years that we wanted answers on. He just does not think that we should account, the government should account for those things. And I think that's an indictment on him and his attitude towards accountability.
Yeah. Was it a lost opportunity, though, for SCOPA to actually continue with the session in the absence of the Deputy Minister, considering that you had the delegation from the National Skills Fund as well as NSFAS who were there?
No, it was not a lost opportunity. So we didn't have the Minister, we didn't have the Deputy Minister, we didn't have the Director General either. So the top three officials in the department were not in Parliament yesterday. We understood why the Minister was there. But to not even have a Director General means that you're dealing with people who are going to escalate a few things to people who are not in the room. We don't want to have 5 hearings. We want to have one and be done. And it's very important that I think when ministers and other agencies come to Parliament, also know that we're not doing this because for fun. We're doing this because it's important.
Yeah. And then again, going back to the role then of the Deputy President and what it is expected from the Deputy President's side, because if you look at the leader of government business, it mostly focuses on ensuring that the members of the executive are available to Parliament. We know that the Deputy Minister doesn't fall under the executive, or doesn't fall under cabinet. How should we understand then, when it comes to the Deputy Ministers, what power the Deputy President has over the Deputy Ministers?
No, Deputy Ministers are appointed by the President, as is the Deputy President. And anybody who deals with the business of government in Parliament falls under that ambit. So it's really simple.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there a set of rules that set out what the Deputy President should be doing in cases where there is failure by members of the executive or the Deputy Ministers to appear before SCOPA or any other portfolio committee?
Look, to be clear, Aldrin, I mean, for now, I'm going to be asking and copying the Speaker's office. I'm going to be asking the Deputy President to make sure that a political accounting officer, either the minister or deputy minister, appears before the committee next week. If that happens, then it means the system is working. If that doesn't happen, then it means the system is not working.
Mm-hmm. And consequences?
The consequences are really for Parliament and for the executive. One of the powers that we have as Parliament is the power of subpoena, but this is an option of last resort. And I want to exhaust all the options available to make sure that we are able to have a hearing before we get to a subpoena as a last step.
Okay, and for now, you're just waiting on who will be the person that will be representing the Higher Education Department once you have the next sitting. Has the date been set as yet?
No, but we're hoping to have it either on Tuesday or Wednesday. Like I said earlier, we're usually quite happy to negotiate a date that is suitable between ourselves and members of the executive, and I'm sure we'll make one of them work.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. That is the chairperson of SCOPA there, Songezo Zibi, on the non-appearance of the Deputy Minister for Higher Education before SCOPA with the delegation that comes from the National Skills Fund as well as NSFAS. And they were supposed to also explain the issues relating to the delays in finalizing the 90,000 appeals that have been filed by prospective students who are wanting aid from NSFAS.